think the main thing that we want to just like want to say is that I find it very profound right now that that we could all feel restless and irritable and discontent in this time. And I don't think there was time for that before. I don't think that there was time for a person with a job and a car and a family and trying to hold it all together and look good and try to do the day, and this petty pace of life was going on, and but people were just in their groove and they were looking good. And then there's been this collapse. And I think that there's just an undeniable restless, irritable discontent on everybody's part. And then as soon as you see that it's kind of undeniable that it exists, that there it is, everything's wrong. Look. And then all of a sudden, if you can look at that, you can see that you struggle with getting through an hour of a newscast and you think everything's wrong, and then you feel it inside. You don't feel right. You don't feel at peace. I think it's beautiful that it kind of forces everybody to see the illusion's gone, because it ain't one thing. You could start writing down everything that's wrong right now. I think it goes on and on and on and on and on. It's not one thing anymore. The pace is fast. And I think that it's just shows up to like kind of drop the illusion that you can solve anything. And if you drop that illusion that you can solve it with some out there in the world movement that makes you happy, if that one thing was gone or two things were gone, you're going to finally be content. That illusion drops away now because it's just not true. And if you see that, I see the only logical thing is to go over here and take a breath. And not a breath like a joke, like calm down, take a breath, but like a breath like that's really has some intention behind it. You know, Amy always likes it, you know, and I don't make that mistake anymore, but I used to tell her to take a breath. No. You don't do that. You don't do that when Amy's mad. Don't tell her to take a breath. I'm talking about taking a breath when you're in the store. I'm not talking about after you're angry and just trying to take, no. I'm talking about all day, every day. I'm talking about making breakfast. Intentional presence while you're making breakfast. I'm talking intentional presence when you make the bed. Intended presence when you vacuum and you do the beautiful lines and you look at the lines in the carpet. That kind of intentional presence as relief, as this is the only way to get relief. The only way. There is no other way, and everything else might be using something. But the purity of that, the purity that if I can just get rid of the past and future for a minute, there's relief there. And it's no suffering in now. There is no suffering right here with presence. Our presence doesn't suffer. Our past suffers, our future worries, and we suffer from that. And that's what drug addiction is. It's trying to get away from what's not happening. We worry that something might happen in the future, and then we do drugs to not worry about what might happen. That's the insanity. And the insanity that we can control it and take it away by changing something out there. And as drug addicts, we get this beautiful opportunity to see that it's not possible. And as we get this beautiful opportunity to see that it's not possible, we surrender. And then that's when recovery begins. And it's time for everyone now to recover, because everyone needs to. Everyone can now recover from the illusion that something is going to change how they feel, that something is going to take it away and make it different. And I think it's beautiful that we can all agree on what's next. If we could just agree on the possibility of what's next, that together, everybody in this program, everybody on here can do a week of intentional presence. And that's the solution. That's the solution to our suffering. That's the solution to the newscast. That's the solution to anything. And then there's that beautiful serenity prayer that says, know the things I can change and know the difference. And we can actually then get the things kind of listed that we can change, and then ready, aim, fire. And we can make a difference there. It's beautiful. We can do it calmly and strategically, and we can do that with presence too, all of it. So I think it's a really, really beautiful coming together where the world kind of lets us all hit bottom at the same time. And that's kind of what's going on. We're all hitting bottom at the same time.